Hey everybody, welcome back. And today I have this 12-inch Tatung oscillating desk fan modeled LA-12. Now I got this one, well, last week, I think maybe 2 weeks ago by now, from the Goodwill, not the one with the blender fans, the other one, which I haven't found anything at in probably about 3 years now, so this is the first thing that's actually shown up there worth getting. Or even actually talking about. So yeah, now, when I got this one, I didn't really give it a good look. I just kind of grabbed it and ran with it. But it needed some work. And, first of all, when I got it, it was totally seized up. So I had to free up the bearings. That, didn't take too much work, although it did take some time to get it completely freed up. And then the big problem was it did not run at all after I freed the bearings up. Come to find out the thermal fuse was dead. Here's the original thermal fuse. As you can see, it is actually completely black. And the reason for that is because when I found it, like at the store, it was plugged in and it was switched on to low. So I'm assuming that it had been left on for God knows how long, and the motor just heated up and the thermal fuse blew. Thankfully, the motor's still fine. I did order a brand new thermal fuse and installed it just last night, soldered it in very carefully so as not to trip it with the heat from the soldering iron. But hopefully I did everything right. It works. Everything fits back together. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I saved this one from being tossed. And gave it some new life. Now, the bearings are a little iffy. I think it may have been run for a number of years and never oiled, which is probably why it's seized up in the first place. But yeah, now you may recognize this design. It's very similar to like the 12-inch Galaxy design, and I think it actually is sort of a knockoff of that. But I have another fan, this one right here, which you probably haven't seen in a number of years now. I still have it. It's the Montgomery Ward's 12-inch desk fan, and this one is actually also made by Tatung. And the reason you can tell is if I turn the fan around to the back here, grab this one, you can see that the motor housing is the exact same. It's got vents on the lower portion there, but nothing on the top, and it's the same on this one. And the grill on this one, you remember when I made the video of this one, I mentioned how unique it was. This one had a chrome front grill but a white rear grill. And this one also has that. So that was just a thing that Tatung did. And that 9-inch Super Electric, actually it's right there, it's actually also made by Tatung, is got the rear white grill and the chrome front grill. Actually, let me grab this out here for you. Get it. Because this one has the exact same motor housing design, except the vents are horizontal instead of vertical. This one's just missing the oscillator knob. But yeah, this is the 9-inch version of this one. So, you'll notice that there are a couple of differences between these two. If I can turn this one back around. The base on this one, I believe this is a slightly later model. The base of this one is slightly bigger, and it's not as like streamlined as this one. See how this one kind of curves down here? This one is just perpendicular like that, kind of like the old 70s Lascos and Galaxies. And then this one is kind of like the second-gen Galaxies. I don't have one over here, but you know what I mean. So I'm pretty sure, based on these observations, that this is a later model. And then the other thing, the oscillator knob, on this one, much like the early first-gen Galaxies, which had the screw-on oscillator knob, the screw holding it on, this one also has the screw-on oscillator knob, whereas the later one has a snap-on oscillator knob. Now, some early versions of these I have seen have oil holes in them. This one doesn't, so I'm not sure if that was just on like the early ones, Or they just did that at random. I don't know. But there are oil holes in the motor itself, underneath of the motor housing. And then another peculiar thing, this one doesn't have a handle for some reason. I always noticed that when I first got it, and I thought it was weird. This one does, so again, it must just be like Galaxy, where they just kind of randomized. Some of them did have handles, some of them didn't. And the reason why the neck keeps falling down is you may have noticed when I had it facing the back, but the neck of the base itself is actually cracked, and somebody had taped it up with packing tape. And it actually does hold, but the neck just falls down a lot easier than it would have if it wasn't all cracked, most likely. But yeah, it just does still hold, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Just leave it be. It doesn't look great, but it works. And then the blades are also a little bit lighter on this one, just a slight bit darker. So there's the switch plate badge I mentioned. It doesn't say 12-inch oscillating fan or anything on there, which is kind of interesting. And the buttons are all the same color, just like this one. Tatung logo on the lower left, much like the oscillating fan Montgomery Ward's logo on there. And then if I turn the fan over, hopefully without breaking anything, show you the informations. Electric fan, model LA-12, 60 hertz, 55 watts. Don't give you an amperage rating for some reason, but serial number, Tatung Company of America Incorporated, Compton, California, USA, and the UL listing. And it has all its rubber feet still. Very nice. So now, let's get the fan back up here. And center grill medallion does not have any logo or anything on it, much like this one. Although it's a bit of an older style, I would say, with the cream colored plastic and the blue ring and the little chrome button in the middle there. I like it. Very nice design. It reminds me of the older Lasco Galaxy center grill medallions that were cream colored with the chrome accents. So anyways, now let's push that Montgomery Ward's over to the side, and let's go ahead and give this one a test. So I got it plugged into my kilowatt meter so I can test the electrical specs as well. So let's start it up on high with the oscillator disengaged. It is pretty quiet. There is a bit of like that hollow rattling that some fans with kind of not great bearings sometimes have. But I'm not expecting it to be perfect. So let's see what our rating is. So about 60 watts, which I'm assuming is okay. It's only like about 4 watts above the rating. I'm gonna assume that's probably fine. Just under half an amp. Probably also fine. I'm not sure if that's almost a whole power factor. I'm not sure if that's good. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the motor does have something wrong with it. But it works for now. Turn it down to medium. And I did let it run for like some time, and it didn't get like super hot. It barely got warm at all, so I don't know. If the thermal fuse blows again, it'll just become a parts fan. So there's medium. 47 watts. 0.4 amps. Still. Alright. Now low. It's pretty quiet on low, actually. Let's see where we're at. I need to like I need to like figure out the power factor thing and like remember it. Alright, let's do spin down from low. You can hear that bearing noise. It's not a bad spin down, considering it was completely and utterly seized when I got it. Alright. Engage the oscillator. Whoops. See, that's what happens when you do that too hard. And low with oscillation. Very glad that the oscillator on this one works, because this one's oscillator has issues. So if this one becomes a parts fan, I'll probably be able to fix this one's oscillator, at least with this one's parts. Alright, medium. It doesn't sound like it's like acting unusual, so other than the bearings, I mean like the motor noise or anything. Right. And high. It's got a pretty fast oscillation arc speed. Not too fast, not like the 3rd gen Galaxies. And spin down from high. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not a bad spin down time at all. And I like ran a lot of oil through those bearings just to like clean out the gunk and everything, because it was acting weird. It would like speed up and then slow down and then speed up again, like when I first freed it up. So there was still like some stuff in there. Did not use WD-40, just used oil. So yeah, and of course probably the main reason why I got this, of course, was the blue blades, because I am a sucker for blue fans, especially the transparent blue blades, which you are probably well aware now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I left out about this one, so that is the Tatung 12-inch oscillating desk fan, model LA-12. So thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.